ومن آياته أن تقوم السماء والأرض بأمره ثم إذا دعاكم دعوة من الأرض إذا أنتم تخرجون وله من في السماوات والأرض كل له قانتون وهو الذي يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده وهو أهون عليه وله المثل الأعلى في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. ما ضرب لكم مثلا من أنفسكم هل لكم مما ملكت أيمانكم من شركاء فيما رزقناكم فأنتم فيه سواء تخافونهم كخيفتكم وأنفسكم كذلك نفصل الآيات لقوم يعقلون بل اتبع الذين ظلموا أهواءهم بغير علم فمن يهد من أضل الله وما له من ناصرين فأقم وجهك للدين حنيفا فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها لا تبديل لخلق الله ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون منيبين إليه واتقوه وأقيموا الصلاة ولا تكونوا من المشركين من الذين فرقوا دينهم وكانوا شيعا كل حزب بما لديهم فرحون وإذا مس الناس ضر دعوا ربهم منيبين إليه ثم إذا أذاقهم منه رحمة إذا فريق منهم بربهم يشركون أن يكفروا بما آتيناهم فتمتعوا فسوف تعلمون أم أنزلنا عليهم سلطانا فهو يتكلم بما كانوا به يشركون وإذا أذقنا الناس رحمة فرحوا بها وإن تصبهم سيئة ما قدمت يديه وإذا ما يقنطون أولم يروا أن الله يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء ويقدرون في ذلك لآيات لقوم يؤمنون فآت ذا القربى حقه والمسكين وابن السبيل ذلك خير للذين يريدون وجه الله أولئك هم المفلحون وما آتيتم من ربا ليربوا في أموال الناس فلا يربو عند الله وما آتيتم من زكاة تريدون وجه الله فأولئك هم المضعفون الله الذي خلقكم ثم رزقكم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم هل من شركائكم من يفعل من ذلك من شيء سبحانه وتعالى عما يشركون ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس ليذيقهم بعض الذي عملوا لعلهم يرجعون.
Hello there, if you want to know my story with the Quran and if you want to memorize it like this, just watch the video till the end.
Hello there, my name is Amina and today I'm gonna tell you my story with the Quran, how I memorized it on my own and what were the obstacles I faced in this journey. Actually, I don't advise you to walk on this journey alone, but I'm saying this is a little difficult, but it's not impossible, alright? When I was 5 years old, my father brought me to the mosque. There was a dedicated site in the mosque that was made as a Quranic school. I studied there for 1 year, after which I joined the regular school. But this Quranic school was like a nursery school, as it taught us letters and words as well. And for this reason, we passed a whole year and we memorized only one hizb. I still remember to this day how my mother used to teach me Ayat al-Kursi because I wasn't good at reading at the time. I still remember that red covered Quran. I still remember the spot where we were sitting in the living room. I even remember the time we were in the winter sitting next to the fireplace. She was reading and I was repeating after her until I memorized it all. Then I had to leave the Quranic school a year later because it was only for 5 years old, and unfortunately there was no other Quranic school in our neighborhood. My father used to memorize Surah Al-Baqarah and I saw him as a superhero because he memorized the longest surah ever, especially when he recited it without looking at the Mus'haf, at the Quran. And I used to say to myself, who's like you, my father? And whenever I opened the book to read, I read this surah. Until the day came where our school held a Quran competition in Ramadan and I was 9 years old at the time. The teacher informed us of this, but I hesitated in the beginning because I memorized only one hizb, or so I thought. And then I was encouraged and rose to the blackboard. I started reading from the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. And the teacher was following my recitation from Al-Mus'haf, and I read to her a whole hizb. Yeah, I was memorizing a whole hizb from Surah Al-Baqarah and I didn't know. I remember that I won the first place in that competition. And since there was no Quranic school near our house, it was my father who used to teach me. I remember that I memorized 4 hizbs at the time. One day came and I was 13 years old. I enrolled in one of the Quranic schools, but I didn't take a month until I left it because of the teacher who insulted me in front of the other students. And because we were studying only once a week and I was able of more than this. So this school encouraged me to be lazy more than to be active. There is nothing worse than a teacher who makes his student escape from his class, and worse than him, a Quran teacher who makes his student escape from the Quran. From that moment, I decided to memorize on my own, or as you can see, I was obliged to do this on my own. I used to memorize from Mus'haf until I saw a bunch of boys on TV memorizing from a tablet. I asked my father, what is this? He said, this tablet is better than the book in memorizing. And since I heard this, I asked him to buy one for me. When I turned 16, we moved to live in another city. I used to see young children going to the mosque with these tablets in their hands. I was pleased that there is in this city but wasn't in our old neighborhood. But when I asked to join the mosque, I was told that they don't teach girls. We still prefer males over females, even in the teachings, even in the memorization of the Quran. I kept memorizing until I was 19 years old, the day at which I joined the university. And since the time was narrow with a lot of research and study hours, I didn't find time to memorize other than the time before dawn. So I used to wake up before the call to prayer, going to the university's campus in the freezing dark night. I challenged my fears, especially with regard to the horrific jinn stories. And when my sister joined the university, we shared the same room. I used to wake up before her, before the call to prayer, lit the light, and start reading and memorizing out loud. So thank you, my sister, for being patient with me. On holidays, when my family meets to stay up until late at night, I used to leave those crowds, those pleasant gatherings, those loud laughters, these interesting conversations, to go to bed early, to wake up early and start memorizing. We were in the holidays visiting our old neighborhood, and I searched in all the areas and its surroundings for a mosque that teaches girls, but I didn't find. What a shame. I was always longing to memorize with a group, because I was fed up with the memorization alone, and I was feeling bored and not motivated. I even reached the point where I was deserting Quran for months, but even for years sometimes, especially when I forgot what I've memorized before, because I was unaware of the method of reviewing, and because I was in a hurry to memorize the entire Quran. I could hardly memorize a surah, except that I moved it to another one without proving the first well, until I got tired of re-memorizing over and over again, and this is why it took me a long time. On Dhul Hijjah the 3rd, 1436 Hijrah, at 6 a.m., where everybody was asleep and I was 22 years old at the time, I completed my last ayah. It was in Surah Al-A'raf, and the last verse of Surah Al-A'raf has a prostration, so it was the prostration of the recitation, and at the same time was the prostration of gratitude for this great blessing. So thank God, alhamdulillah. Then I learned ahkam, and I had ijaza in qira'at nafi', and I proved myself until I was appointed as a Quran teacher. So alhamdulillah. And if you're wondering about the secret to a perfect memorization, it is simply repetition. Me personally, I repeat one page approximately 500 times. So if you're looking for someone to teach you Quran, whether it's memorization or ahkam, and if you want to read without mistakes or without forgetting, just DM me in my Instagram or Facebook account. This is my job, and this is what I do for a living. I guarantee you that you're gonna be able to read Quran without using mushaf, while you're driving to your workplace, doing your things, walking outside, or maybe cooking your dinner. Yeah, as you heard it, cooking your dinner. Usually I don't make videos in English, so if you want to see more, just let me know in the comments below. Salam!